Hello, hello. My name's Dan. I live in Ottawa, Canada. I am currently in lockdown number 2. Lockdown number 2. We're all trying to entertain ourselves right now and keep our sanity. And so one of the things I thought I'd try something different here and just have a little fun. So what am I doing? Let me put this into some context for you. Back in January 2020, 1 year ago, January 2020, I had told some friends, I said, you know what, this is the year I'm going to do an amateur night at a comedy club. I got game, I can talk. What's the worst? People going to laugh at me? Got to cross off those things off your bucket list. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it. Something always I wanted to do. So January 2020, I go home, I start writing some jokes down. February 2020, start writing some jokes down. And March 2020, we all stopped joking around because shit got fucking real, baby. Shit got real. We had an uninvited guest in March 2020 called COVID-19. And basically this little creature came and flipped everything upside down on us. We all stayed home, homeschooling, Zoom meeting, work from home. Don't leave the house, mask up, stay away from friends and family. All kinds of shit went down. It got fucking crazy. 2020 was a fucking crazy year for everybody. Economic problems, bankruptcies. It showed the the unequalness in our society. Poor people took it the worst. Colored people took it the worst. Really tough, really tough. Not as bad as it could be. It's not a war zone. Government is kind of taking on kind of the brunt of the worst of it. Not horrible, not a war zone, not a famine. But for us kind of comfort-seeking North Americans, for us comfort-seeking, luxury-desiring North Americans, this is as bad as it gets. Certainly as bad as I've seen it. And I think what the pandemic did was certainly made me reassess a few things. And by me reassess a few things, I mean every single one of us reassess every fucking thing we ever thought we knew about anything. And the number one thing, and this is true, the number one thing I had to reassess was that you cannot rely on common sense and rationality to win the day. Because it ain't going to happen. So for all you future people suffering a pandemic, see a pandemic coming, factor this into your thinking. Common sense, I think, is something that in ideal circumstances, in perfect conditions, we can muster up for a couple of minutes at a time. When the fabric of society is crumbling beneath our feet, when the foundations that we've built to stand on are gone, there is no common sense. But there's a reason for that. I think that we still have our monkey brains, haven't quite evolved in the past 10,000 years. And, when we were out in the jungle as cavemen, hunting and fishing and doing whatever cavemen did, we would see a tiger coming towards us. We'd go, oh shit, a tiger. We get washed in fear, washed in endorphins and serotonins and adrenaline, washed over. We're given an urge to leap into action. We look around, we see a tree, we see a vine, we see a river. We climb the tree, swing on the vine, jump in the river, escape to freedom. Then we decompress later on. And that's basically all we had to worry about. These days, we're locked at home. Stay home. There's a killer coming for you, an invisible killer. What is it? I don't know. I can't see it. Nobody can see it. So we're in our apartments. What do we look for? We look to internet. We look to the Bible. And we look to the fucking President of the United States. And it wasn't a good combination. Needless to say, brain short-circuited. Any one of those is probably not a good way to deal with a pandemic altogether. A fucking nightmare scenario ensued. The internet. I don't know if you remember back in the 90s when they were selling this to us. The internet was sold to us as a light in the darkness. It was going to bring democracy to the world, overthrow dictators. Nobody could stand up to the truth. Nobody. Internet. This is what we need internet for. Bye. Hasn't quite lived up to that. As we survey the tattered remains of our democracies, we're kind of scratching our heads going, when's that coming again? They're still selling it that way though. It's still coming, so yeah. Has given us porn, though. You know, I'll tell you what, the 90s, the old porn magazines, we have gone light years beyond that. So if I had to choose democracy or porn, I'd defer. I'd let someone else make that decision. Anyways, 2020 is behind us now. It's January 2021. Everybody seems happy. We've kind of turned that page. We've kind of moved to the next phase. We have a vaccine for the pandemic now. You know, and that's kind of a marker. That kind of marker, 2020, the nightmare is gone, and, you know, people breathe a little easier. But now that it is 20, is it too early for COVID jokes? Is it too early for lockdown jokes or mask jokes or personal freedom jokes or Black Lives Matter jokes or Proud Boy jokes or Antifa jokes or bankruptcy jokes or homeschooling jokes or Amazon, Walmart making record profit jokes or suicide, alcoholism jokes or depression? Nah, probably too early. Probably too early. Probably too early. It was a weird year. Too early for Trump jokes? Not at all. So, again, we'll back this up a minute. The greatest country in the world, not yours, by the way, not yours, America. The greatest country in the, I thought I was wrong too. Funny. Anyways, the greatest country in the world and the greatest democracy, again, not yours, America, said we're going to have an election. We're going to have an election. 2016, we're going to have an election. So they scoured their land, sea to shining sea, to look for the best and brightest candidates. And in 2016, they did it. Well, almost did it. They almost did it. They found the second greatest president of all time. So apparently Lincoln, I'm not American, I'm Canadian. So I'm just watching this shit, man. I'm just watching. So, but apparently Lincoln is number one and Donald Trump is number two. Okay, so that's good. I mean, clearly democracy's working. Now, I always kind of assumed Lincoln was a little higher up on the, you know, on the inspiring-o-meter than that. I could be wrong, though. It also kind of makes me wonder, who's the bottom of that list? Who is the worst president of all time? Get back to me on that, America. Anyways, Donald Trump, you know, I would say this, on her best day, pre-2016, America, you're a hubristic piece of shit, grumpy country. You know you are. You know, you show up and you say, hey guys, please do this. And by please do this, we know you mean get your fucking ass in gear and do it now or we'll rain bombs down on you. You know, we get it. You tell your people you're doing it for our sake. You know, we all say, yeah, sure, whatever, roll our eyes. This is how the world works. We get it. So on our best pre-2016 day, America was a grumpy ass fucking place. You add Donald Trump in the mix and shit got fucking real. It was insane. Lights fucking out insane. Anyways, to sum up the last 4 years, basically the way I look at it is America found the dumbest, most emotionally stunted, emotionally needy toddler they could find, and they said, why don't you run things for the next 4 years? And they did. They did. And I'm not talking just a little human being with not quite a fully formed brain. I'm talking about the dumbest little human being without a fully formed brain. It wasn't a good thing. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't good. Not good to experience, not good to view. So how would I describe Trump? I would say that Donald Trump was a rich kid. Got to say he's rich. Rich kid somehow, you know, rich kid going to fix the world's problems. Rich kid, despite his kind of miraculous life, born rich, you know, partying with movie stars, toast to New York, president of the United States. I mean, this is pretty fucking good. This is pretty fucking good, man. You know, bravo for you, man, American dream. But he kind of couldn't stop seeing the negative. Bit of a downer, you know. It was always poor me this, poor me that, poor me this. So, rich kid who really did kind of feel very sorry for himself. Didn't really have much empathy for other people. Probably zero empathy for other people. But a lot of empathy for himself. Bit odd that way. Secondly, didn't really like to tell the truth. Had a bit of, you know, stretch the truth occasionally, once in a while. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Not the happiest guy. Again, not the happiest guy unless you're kissing his ass. Not the happiest guy. Not introspective. Probably kind of low on the IQ scale, I would say. What else would I say about? Loved nicknames. He liked nicknames. Basically, I would say Donald Trump loved being president, but didn't really like doing the work. He had this really miraculous ability to kind of take a tranquil scenario, a beautiful, peaceful, tranquil scenario, and kind of bring fucking chaos and disorder to it. Let me expand on this one a little. Even more. Part of the reason for this, because Donald Trump wasn't the smartest guy. Okay? Problem one. Problem two, he didn't really like to learn stuff. Not a big reader. Watched a lot of TV, but didn't really like to learn stuff. Problem number three, loved giving his opinions on things. Okay, so we're kind of descending here, okay? Loved giving his opinions, couldn't back the fuck down when he was wrong. And he was quite often wrong. Probably in most of our countries, and most of our democratic countries, these are not qualifications for president. Apparently in America they are. Anyways, let me put this together. Chaos and, the insanity of Donald Trump with just one example. Donald Trump loved hurricanes. For whatever reason, when a class 5 hurricane would slam into America, this guy would hoot and holler like fucking Bozo the Clown was coming to town. I mean, the idea that there were people underneath getting, their lives and dreams destroyed by these hurricanes didn't matter. But he would just sit there rubbing his hands together, saying how great it was. Now, there was this one called Dorian, Hurricane Dorian. Some of you may know where I'm going with this. Hurricane Dorian, class 5, had just kind of slid. Let's say Florida's here, Atlantic coast is here, Florida's here, and this Hurricane Dorian had just slammed through Bahamas, up on its way to Florida. Now, at some point, Donald Trump tweets or says, I don't know what happened, but at some point, Donald Trump tweets out, it's going to hit Alabama. Now, I'm Canadian, I had to look this up on a map, but Florida's here, kind of the coast is here, Alabama's over here. So immediately, it's federal government, state government, municipal, people start getting in their cars, fleeing, oh fuck, class 5, oh shit, freaking out. Immediately state, federal, municipal governments start kicking into action and saying, no, it's not going to happen. Alabama, you're safe. Now this is a normal scenario. A normal leader would then say, my bad, I am very sorry, it's not going to hit Alabama. Rest easy, Alabama. I've got other things to work on in America. There's other problems to fix. Let's deal with this one properly, sanely. And no. Donald Trump literally spent the next 4 fucking days trying to convince everybody that indeed this hurricane was going to hit Alabama. It's crazy to even say. There was a point where he brought a map out. He brought a map of the path, of the trajectory like this, took a marker, a Sharpie, and circled Alabama. The guy would bring chaos to everything. Everything. Every fucking thing. Anyways, a guy who didn't quite understand that there were, repercussions to his actions. Didn't quite get that whole thing. And that people would react. Not a lot of empathy, not a lot of understanding. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't judge Donald Trump in a moral sense. He can do all this shit. He can be weird. He can do fucked up shit. I don't care. I'm fucked up. He's fucked up. We're all fucked up. I get that. But you don't get to do that shit and be president. That's where I judge him. Now, we'd be watching this stuff. And certainly I would watch this every single day. This was multiple times a day you would see this stuff. And you'd sit there going, well, this guy's a genius. Donald Trump is fucking playing us. The guy is a genius. He's working us. He's playing us. He knows just what he's doing. He's playing 3-dimensional chess. We're here playing checkers. You would think that, or you would think this guy's fucking stupid. Or you'd think he's mentally ill. Or you'd think he's pure evil. Or all of the above, or none of the above. It was so fucked up watching him. Why would he do this? What's the motive? And there wasn't even an ideology behind it. It's not like he was this religious person. It's not like he loved republicanism. It's not like he loved America. It's not like he loved anything. Maybe he wanted to make money, maybe. But you would still want to project a certain level of sanity. So it was fucked up. Again, you have this completely fucked up guy doing all kinds of things, making all kinds of decisions, doing and saying typically the wrong thing, and for no real comprehensible reason. It really is fucked up. Like, part of the reason I had to do this is to kind of, I don't want to romanticize this guy. 20 years from now, we're all going to be looking back and chuckling. This was fucked up what we went through. This was really fucked up. Anyways, we hear about guys like Donald Trump. We hear about these guys in history books. We hear about them in foreign countries. We hear about them in third world dictatorships and stuff. And, we've developed democracy. That's sophisticated Western European-based human beings. We developed democracy to weed these guys out. The audition process is going to remove these guys from office, make us safe. Again, democracy, rah, rah, rah. Democracy is certainly not supposed to let these guys into office, and certainly not supposed to have 50% of the population cheering this shit on. That's the real fucked up thing. That's the real fucked up thing. Anyways, let me say this. I can't say only bad things about people. My mother told me, be good. Be a good boy. So, good things about Donald Trump. Great fucking TV. The guy gave us 4 years of outstanding TV. Hollywood could not have written this shit any better. Donald Trump, I thank you for that. It was endless scandals. 20 times a day, you would run home at the end of the day wondering what he was going to say, do or say. Any norms were thrown out the window, and it was lunacy. Now, this is not my line. I wish it was, but I once heard it said that Donald Trump, to best describe Donald Trump would cause giggles of laughter to rise up out of your throat. Yet at the same moment, you would be feeling your stomach sink into the depths of depression. And that's the best. It was fucked up what this guy did. I mean, kids could not watch a Donald Trump press conference. And by Donald Trump press conference, I mean, probably 0 to like 35. Bit of a foul mouth. Bit of a foul mouth with this guy. Shithole countries, anyone? So it was really fucking crazy. Second thing about Donald Trump, he taught me leadership matters. And this is no joke. My assumption, as we discussed earlier, is that sanity prevails. When all the fucking trappings and all the nonsense go away, we fall back on rationality and common sense. We don't. Leadership matters, good leadership matters, and leadership really matters when you got a fucking leader dragging the rest of us down into the pits of hell. It was fucking crazy. Like, America, you survived Donald Trump. This was not a guy who showed up with a big policy plan and a big, a competent, healthy guy, a guy that was going to do your best interest. We survived Donald Trump. Third thing about Trump, if you are, how do I say this? If you are completely shameless, if you are totally and utterly shameless, you will win whatever you want. You will be president. No army can stop you. And Donald Trump was shamelessness on steroids. He would do and say anything. There was no end to what he would do. It was, again, as I mentioned, Alabama. It was literally insane. The way I see it is this. We all live our lives on these little islands. We all live on an island. We're in a big society, and there's quicksand. And if we step off into that quicksand, if we go too far off our solid, safe societal foundations, we sink and we drown in the quicksand. We're excommunicated, we're lectured to, we're thrown in jail, we're shunned. Shame breaks us. Shame breaks us until we fear shame. With Donald Trump, he would be on his island, but then by 9 o'clock in the morning, he'd be bored of his island. So he'd walk to the middle of this quicksand, do a tap dance for 10 minutes, then walk off the other side. All the rest of us are like, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? And then he'd come back, and then he'd do it again 3 or 4 times that day. Levels of insanity you couldn't understand. Now, I think the question we all have to ask is, did he not sink in the quicksand, or does he kind of not know the quicksand's there? It was really strange. The guy lived this life in these 30-second increments. And his life was simply to escape that 30-second segment and get to the next one. And he would do and say anything. Now, despite all these thousands of 30-second segments coming back to haunt him. The guy just plowed on forward. For any of us, one of these segments would be the death throes of us. We couldn't survive it. With him, there was crazy. But this is how I see it. This is the brilliance of it. You know, you would have Donald Trump literally saying the answer to a question at the beginning is yes. 10 minutes later in the same press conference, he'd say, well, the answer is no. To the same question, maybe worded different, same question. Then when they confronted on it later on, he would say, but you gave the opposite answer before. He would say, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Check the tapes. No, I didn't. I mean, we'd all be, it's crazy. But here's the brilliance of it. If I ask you, is the sky blue? And you say yes and no, you're never wrong. I mean, if you give both answers, you're always wrong. But you get to later on point at the right answer, and your followers can look at the right answer, discount the wrong answer, and they see you as a genius. And if you can do this every time, this is what I think was going on there. And this is pretty savvy. This is pretty savvy. And this is where the shamelessness kicks in and kind of works to your benefit. Most of us can't do that. Most of us can't just, if somebody says what's 1 plus 1, we can't just say every number between 0 and 100. We can't do it. We know we're wrong. With him, he knows he's going to be right 1% of the time. And that's all the Trumpists need. That's all the Trumpists need. Third thing Donald Trump taught me. Where are we? Third, fourth, I don't know. Donald Trump brought me Zen, peacefulness. Donald Trump, you know, let's say this. I was a political junkie. Donald Trump was my rehab counselor. You know, before that, I would watch politics every day. I would immerse myself. I had my heroes. Politics was my soap opera. I had my heroes. I had my villains. I had my palace intrigues. I had my plots, my schemes, you know. In a normal country like Canada, we have 2 or 3 big scandals a year. We judge our political leaders on this. You know, with Donald Trump, it was like 2 or 3 big scandals before lunch. You couldn't process it. It was too much corruption, too much pettiness, too much nastiness, too much vileness, too much hypocrisy, too much projection, too much victim, too much of fucking everything. And you had to turn the TV off. So Donald Trump has brought me to a new place where I'm not quite so emotionally involved in this anymore. Anyways, let's keep going. 2020, we had Donald Trump, we had a pandemic, and then America says, this isn't good enough, let's ramp it up with another election. So they scan their shore to shore. They say, we need another great leader. We need, you know, we're going to look for the best, so they give us 2 guys born in the 1940s. 2 guys born in the 1940s to solve the problems of 2020, one of which, the most important, the biggest problem of 2020 is one of the guys actually in the election. Trump shows up. This is his platform. He says, I'm the greatest human being who ever lived. This is his campaign. I'm the greatest who ever lived. He says, all the problems that happened during my campaign, there was nothing I could do about it. Simply impossible to do anything about it. I'm a victim of these problems while I was president. And thirdly, he says, if you vote for Joe Biden, you will throw the world into a burning pit of communism. Now, Joe Biden showed up, basically rolled down a poster of Trump and said, you want more of this shit? Anyways, as it stands in January 2021, we are now living in a pit of burning communism. And I don't think anybody minds it too much. But the election didn't end there. The election did not end there. Donald Trump, well, let's say this. Capitol Hill was invaded by people who wanted to destroy democracy. And I know what you're thinking. If you're American, you're thinking, going through your head, who are the boogeymen? Well, you got the Russians, nope. Chinese, nope. You got the Islamic terrorists. They're the fucking worst. Nope, it wasn't Islamic terrorists. Who was it? Was it the socialists? Nope. The gays. The gays did it. Nope, not this time. But they're hiding behind every tree. Warning. They're everywhere. The abortionists. Nope. The feminists. The fucking feminists. Nope. Well, then it must have been the Mexicans. Not the Mexicans, not the immigrants. Patriots. It was patriots who stormed the Capitol, broke in, destroyed everything, put a noose up on the front lawn to kill Trump's chosen vice president because Trump told them to. Good old boys now getting arrested, and their defense seems to be, well, the president told us to do this. The president told us to invade the Capitol. and kill the vice president, kill elected officials. Which is good defense. I mean, this shows how crazy the world is these days. But my question would be then to them, would you have done it if Obama told you to do it? I think not. Anyways, America is now clapping itself on the back. Slapping. They had their inauguration a week ago. Joe Biden is president of America, is clapping itself on the back saying, rah, rah, we're back. Greatest nation, singing, America the beautiful, celebrities, everybody's back, everybody's cheering and hooting and hollering. You know, we are the bright light for the world, all this, blah, blah. And the inauguration was a beautiful thing. And halfway through, North Korea called up and said, guys, you want to dial down the propaganda? This is embarrassing for you. And yeah, America seems to have gotten rid of a sociopath from its government. They seem to have removed the sociopath, gotten themselves back up to the levels that all us other democracies have maintained ourselves at, and seem to be very proud of themselves, very proud of themselves. I have no doubt that by next week, they will be on a soapbox telling us how we should do things properly. And my advice to them would be, before you do that, how about you get some health care, get some good public education, get some good higher education, pay the cost of higher education, get an environmental policy, and give people the dream again. Make the possibility of upward mobility for your middle class a reality. And if you need some help with your democracy, then come talk to us. Then come talk to us. And if you need some help building your democracy, tweaking it, because it probably needs a little tweaking, then come talk to us. Because we've seen this all before, America. We've seen this all before. It was called Obama. And very quickly after, we got Donald Trump. So anyways, here's what I'll say, America. You know, give me 25 years of goodness, of generosity, of building the world, making the world a better place, of helping the poor, helping the downtrodden, removing horrible governments. Do that for 25 years, then I'll give you your credit. Until then, you know, we've all seen this before. And on that note, pandemic is here. We're all stuck in our houses. I got a pandemic belly, a COVID belly to deal with. We got economic and medical problems to deal with here in Canada. So I will bid you adieu. Thank you for watching. And I may do this again sometime. Until next time, peace.